I tell myself that it's a training race, and then when the gun goes off, you're like, oops.
Yeah.
Ran
Off
quite
she
hard.
Oops, I won.
If you get prize money, it's generally pretty minimal.
250 rand pick and pack pouch. I will tell Ryan Sands, you're that power hiker, aren't you?
I love wine.
She's very knowledgeable.
Which is code for you drank a lot.
You'll become world famous if you win the Otter 8 months pregnant.
Babs, just hand me my bottle quick.
Not even after winning the Mont Blanc creme de la creme would you be like, I'm going to have a calamari. I'm going to ask you a personal question. Do you fly business class? Hello, Mensa. Welcome to another episode of Your Mom with Schalk. You know, a lot of people say to me, Schalk, at the end of a long day, I like to have a nice cold can of house. And I said, that's your problem. This is what I do. Life hack. In the middle of a long day, I like to have a nice cold can of house. That's why you're so stressed, because you wait until the end of the long day. Start in the middle. Hi guys.
Schalk. Good.
How are
and
you? We have Toni, ladies and gentlemen, and then Toni.
Carrie.
Toni Carey.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I love your t-shirt. Feeling good, feeling positive. Did you get that in the lockdown?
Yes.
Okay. Have you been to one of my shows? Or
I have not yet.
Only been on. Okay, well, I'm coming. You live in Durban now.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to Durban again soon.
Good. I'm coming
For
to watch your show.
For shows.
Yes.
Yeah. Also moving there, but it's not public knowledge yet, but I guess it is now.
No, it is.
For the people watching this this episode. Where did you grow up, Toni?
Durban gal. That's why.
Durban girl.
Yeah. Moved to Cape Town and sorry, Durban, and never came back.
That's why you
really
run so
didn't.
well, because all people who grew up in Durban just run away as soon as they as soon as they can.
True.
So yeah, then people always know like your Gerda-Stein and so on and Frith van der Merwe.
Oh my goodness.
And then but people never really like trail like
It's a very, very niche sport.
I would never have been able to tell you like if you ask any person in Cape Town, name your top 3 trail runners.
They'll probably know Ryan Sands.
Oh yes.
And no one else.
Well, I mean, in South Africa, probably no.
Yeah.
You might get someone who knows like a Courtney de Walter or a Kilian Jornet
Or Jim.
or a Jim Wormsley.
Okay,
But
don't know any.
no. Okay.
I-
I mean,
I
those
am
would be
a-
our big names.
I am a runner.
Yes, we
We
heard.
know.
Congratulations
So
on your
that's
Cape Town
why
marathon.
I thank you. That's why I dressed. It is the same outfit I wore for Kate Pinchuk's interview, but it was my only like sporty outfit because this my whole New Balance
Yeah, look at
Oh,
this.
look
kit here.
at
This
that.
is my new New
yes.
Balance shoes.
Very
Yeah.
I
nice.
pronate. That's a running term, by the way. You won't know it if you step in, but the non-runners won't know pronation is.
Shame.
So I pronate, and I hate trail. I hate trail because I did landloop in school.
Oh
No,
yeah.
landloop.
Like
cross country.
Cross country.
Yes.
And then you're just so much slower because it's like up a hill and then through the grass and then through the mud.
Grass running is hard work though. That's not trails.
Grass, trails, I mean, but it's over jumping over sticks, and I like because on the road you can get into a nice rhythm. But before I ask you, what do you love about trail? Do you run as well?
I do.
Okay.
My mom is an undercover trail runner. Just saying that.
I run trail.
Okay.
I love trail. I love being out in the
Is
bush.
it the nature aspect of it?
Yes.
What do you love about it?
And I actually love the trail running community. I think they're great people.
Mm. They're all a bit cooked, the trail runners, eh? Like road runners, but the trail runners, because they go, because people think a road runner is cooked if you run 42 kilometers on a road. Like normal people say, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then the trail runner's like, but let's run 42 kilometers up a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think the
So all a
difference
bit
is
crazy.
trail runners like you speak in hours. So people will go onto the mountain for like 6 to 8 hours
Yeah.
and you're like, that's half a day.
And you just run that whole...
Yeah.
I
mean, look, running is a relative term. Trail running is more like fast hiking with
Yeah.
some running in between.
Yeah.
To be fair.
Okay. And
Maybe that's how you should phrase it to yourself. You're not running, you're fast hiking.
Oh,
He
power
fast
hiking.
hi- yeah.
Or power hiking. Yeah.
Power hiking. I like that. Yeah, power hiking.
That is an official trail running term, power hiking.
I will
Power
tell
hiking.
Ryan Sands because we also interviewed him for the podcast. So the next time I see him, I'll say like, "Yeah, you're that power hiker.
You're a
aren't
professional
You?
There you
power
go.
I
hiker.
don't know if he'll be how he'll take that.
To be fair, his distance really is just power hiking.
Oh my goodness.
Shouldn't say this.
Yeah.
He does far, no?
He does very
Do you
far.
do that far?
No,
you
no,
use the
no.
100 milers and
No, I am still a baby in the trail running world in terms of the distances I run. So I do like, the longest I've done is 55 Ks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you do road at all?
No.
No, you just
I
strictly trail.
I did landloop in high school as well. Oh, no, actually not in high school, in primary school.
Yeah.
And I hated it so much. And
She left primary school and told me, I'm never running landloop again. Never. Don't ask me to run. Like, okay,
Yeah.
cool. She played hockey. Field hockey.
Yeah.
Field hockey.
Yes.
Yeah, that's also running on grass. So that's
Astro.
Tough.
after a ball with a stick in your hand.
yeah.
It's a vibe.
So, Tani Kerry, let me ask you that you obviously never thought when she was growing up that she'd be
No.
a professional trail runner up one
Absolutely.
day, because it all happened sort of overnight. Am I right in saying that? It was sort of like on a suggestion
Yeah.
of a friend.
Yes.
I mean, you tell us the story.
Yes. So I think, did you run because of Taz?
Mm.
Yeah. So my oldest daughter, Taz, said, come and run a trail with me. Trail race. And off she went. And did you win that race?
No.
You didn't win it, but she did quite well. And then suddenly she was
But
running
that's very
trails.
similar to Ryan Sands,
Yeah.
because he was like on a dare ran Naisna Marathon
Yeah.
and was still like kind of heavy drinker, Cape Town, whatever, just like a Cape Town oak. And then he won.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm Ryan. My friend
doing my
dared me
thing."
to run this." And then they're like, "But you won against people who like run for
Actually ran.
Nedbank."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she didn't. I think you just from there, she kind of realized that actually she was pretty good at it,
Yeah.
which should have been like from school. She was really good at cross country, so it kind of like.
I think I remember my mum always saying like, you would be a really good runner if you tried. I didn't try.
Well, I also thought she would be a very good triathlete because she was a damn good swimmer and
Thank
a good
God
runner.
I didn't end up doing that.
Did you ever do the mid-mile?
No,
I did it once.
Oh, yes, you did.
I did.
I
I
also
almost
did it
drowned.
once.
Almost drowned.
I got almost pulled out by the jet ski guys.
Oh no,
If they see you like sort of, cause
struggling. Yeah.
they
haul you
go
out.
like this, and then they load you on the back of the jet ski and they take
Okay.
you out. But I had a cramp. But I trained so
Ah.
hard, and I was like at the gym in Kempton Park every day, swimming lengths, and I was like, no, I'm not. You're not pulling me out. I would have been
Do
like
that to me.
devastated if they pulled me out. And I was like, I'm fine.
Just taking a moment to forget.
Yo, I think I even went on my back for a
Oh,
while
yes.
to rest my leg.
Oh, who doesn't? You have to have a
Definitely.
breather. Yeah.
Okay, but you've got the runner build. You're like
I didn't always.
tallish,
Tallish, yeah, I guess.
lanky.
I think I'm like, I guess from my hockey days, I always had quite powerful legs.
Mm.
And on trails, that really helps, I think, because of like the terrain that you're running over, you're
Mm.
jumping over rocks and things. And I guess, yeah. And when you're running a lot, you, I guess, lean out. I don't know.
So what did you think she was gonna become one day?
Well, she played hockey at varsity, so I never thought she would get back into running because she had told me emphatically, "I am never running again."
But did you think she was gonna become a professional?
Well,
Sports-
I think she would have liked to maybe play professional hockey.
Yeah.
But in this country, it's quite hard to play professional hockey.
Yeah, and I don't think you can do it full time, because I think I
No.
heard on the radio the other day that I ran in Umhlanga. I went for a run and I ran next to a guy.
Yeah.
We like started chatting on the run. I ran past him and we started chatting on the run, and he was saying he plays hockey
Mm-hmm.
and he's gonna go now overseas
Mhm.
to play hockey in some tournament, but with the South African team. So I said, "Oh, so you're a hockey player?" And he was like, "No, I'm in IT," something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have to work another job if
Yeah,
you're
so
playing
all of them have
professional
other
hockey.
jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is sad. Yeah,
Yeah, look, I mean,
I think
even as a
netball
runner,
as well in our country.
Yeah.
the netball players also all
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
day jobs.
They do.
unless you're a cricket or rugby player, most people will have a job if
A
you're a
day job.
professional
Yeah.
athlete.
Do you have a day job other than, or is running
My-
your full time gig?
Running is my full-time gig.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I'm lucky. I've got an incredible team that's backs me, part of the Adidas Terex team,
Yeah.
and yeah, they support me really, really well.
And just for anyone watching who wants to make their career sports or running, where does the money come from? Is it winning a competition like the comrades, and then there's like prize money, or is it sponsors that support you?
Definitely not competition.
Okay.
Trail running super small. So races, like if you get prize money, it's generally pretty minimal. Like it's not
Pick
enough
and
to
pay
live
voucher.
on. Yeah.
250 rand pick and pay voucher.
Here's a voucher to buy more shoes, and you're like, great, need those. No, it's all from sponsorship. So
Okay.
yeah, Terex is my main sponsor, and yeah, they look after us very well, thankfully.
Who else are you? What are the kind of sponsors of a runner? Okay, like obviously like a running brand, but then do you also have other sponsors like BioPlus or
No, honestly, I mean,
D-Beat? Do D-Beat sponsor people?
Don't think so.
Maybe that's an idea.
No,
My
maybe.
next marathon, I'm running for
Yeah.
D-Beat.
full red outfit. Look, maybe, I don't know. But
Yeah.
like there's nutrition sponsors, you can get recovery brands. If you're lucky,
Cars,
you get Red Bull.
hopefully
Oh,
one day.
Nah,
Car.
nah.
She doesn't need a car.
No,
Cheating.
Well, yeah.
Just run everywhere.
Just run.
Maybe I'll
everywhere.
just get an e-bike.
Cycle.
An e-bike would be
Yes,
nice.
E-bike, yes.
If anyone wants to sponsor me an e-bike, jokes.
and now you run, and you are being coached by Toni. But if you have a coach, that means you take it quite seriously. Are you trying to get anywhere with your running, or is it just for fun and fitness?
It's
and
for fun
general-
and fitness.
Yeah.
But it's quite cool being able to have someone to hold me to account. Otherwise, I would life would just get in the way and I would
Yeah.
never do anything.
Yeah.
So it's good to have Toni on my back going, well, not on my back. I must just rephrase that. Just
You
go,
will run
"Yes,
today."
you will do today. She sets out a plan for me and off I go. So I don't have to think about it.
She's running the 35K at Ultra Trail Cape Town in end of November,
Yes.
Okay.
which is a gnarly race.
I actually am reconsidering this, to be honest.
Have you done the Otter? That was your
Yes.
first big one. No?
Yeah.
Well, you won it in 20.
I won it in 2019, 2020, and 22. It's cool.
And
you
how
done
far is the Otter?
42.
42Ks
No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't ever do a marathon.
on
Trail.
trail.
And you know
You
that-
say that until you do it.
Yeah.
So what is a good time for that? For trail, because it's always slower on trail, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what was your time when you what's your PB
On the Otter.
on the Otter?
Yeah, but remember the Otter is both ways, eh? So
Well, they
much like
change
comrades,
direction.
they change direction.
So
each year.
oh, so you've got
Yes.
the
I've done both ways. My favorite way is the Reto, so Otter backwards and reverse.
Mhm.
And that one, my time I think last year was 4:30 something.
33.
4:33.
Okay, so yeah,
And she
that's-
she broke the record.
Yeah. Because to me that sounds slow, but I'm thinking in terms of
Road.
Cape Town
Road.
Marathon,
And
the
a road.
times that people
No.
are running.
Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously it's way
But-
harder.
and
with
I
also-
think the cutoff for that race is like 11 hours.
Yeah.
9 hours
Sure.
for the
For the race. The challenge is 11.
Yeah. So it's people are out there all day.
yeah, see.
It's a beautiful event. If you ever get the chance to do it, definitely.
Well, go and
definitely.
Is there
it first.
21?
No.
No, there's a Dussie. They've got the Dussie, which is a 15K,
I don't
10K.
know what it is.
Should know
Okay.
this,
But
yeah.
go and hike it first.
Yeah.
That's the Tsitsikama hike.
Yeah,
think
I
that's
like
the way to
hiking
get
even
into
less
it.
than trail. Because then I have to, I'd rather, if I'm going to do 42 trail, I'd rather run it.
I agree.
I'd rather run it.
I don't like walking that much.
Oh my gosh.
I'd rather be sitting.
Yeah.
If I have to walk, I'm sitting rather.
Oh, shit, that's load shedding. Sorry, guys. load shedding again. But thank you. Luckily, or unlucky for you, Kerry, you don't have Go Solar, which I would highly, highly recommend. They just happen to be one of our wonderful sponsors on the show. So Go Solar, if you don't know, you don't have the hassle, you don't need the capital of putting down 100, 200,000, a million rand, whatever it's going for these days, to fit your entire roof with solar panels. Go Solar come, they fit the roof, and you pay a monthly subscription fee to get all the benefits that the wonderful sun gives us. Screw you, Eskom. We will always have the sun. Thank you, Go Solar. You know, with comedy, I always tell people, they're like, yo, your life must be so interesting because you're a comedian. And I go, my life's only interesting for that hour on stage.
Yeah.
That's the interesting bit.
Yeah.
And that's the fun bit.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what do you do in the day? People have this, I think, idea of comedians that like, I wake up, I have a coffee, I smash a bong, and then I play PlayStation, and then I wake up, it's time for the show, and then and then I go on stage and talk cuck. That's also always what people love to say.
Yeah.
Just talk
It
cuck
must
all
be
the time.
nice talking cuck for a living. But, you know, then I'm like, no, my day's actually a comedian. Well, I don't know, other comedians do it. Maybe they have bigger teams, but like at the moment, my life is way more admin than doing comedy. I spend way more time sending emails and invoices and talking to my agent on the phone. It's like almost like an office job.
Yeah.
And then at night, I get to be like, oh,
Have
hallelujah,
fun.
like, I can do some comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's almost where I kind of feel like I'm not working.
Mm.
It's
Yeah.
so weird. I suppose, you the same when you're running,
Yeah.
when you're in a race. Or,
That's the fun part. Yeah.
that's the fun part.
Well,
yeah.
that's the celebration of all the hard work that gets put in. But yeah, you answer.
No. You can I think for Toni, it would be actually downtime, recovery
Mm.
would be her harder for her, because she's on the go all the time as well. And in running, recovery is so important.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that, I don't know, am I wrong?
I guess my mom remembers me from when I was at school or at university, where I was that person. I was like bam, bam, bam all the time.
No, she's
Classic A-type
always-
personality.
Yeah.
Now, now I'm lazy.
Whatever. You are not lazy.
I'm not lazy for like the
Lazy
2
girl.
hours that I'm training every day. And then it's
Yeah.
outside of that, you're being as sedentary as possible. I honestly think the hardest part is, like you say, like the admin side of things, you know,
admin.
managing sponsors, managing
'Cause
invoicing.
obviously,
and blah,
every
blah, all of that
sponsor
stuff.
wants to have like a 5-hour briefing call every day. Like, hey, we've got the race coming up.
Yeah.
When can you do a briefing call so we can chat about
And
I
a
don't know,
shoot, and a photo shoot.
a shoot? You
Yeah.
have to obviously
Yeah.
go pick up the gear
Apparel.
that you need to
Yeah.
be
Look,
seen in. And
It is a very nice lifestyle. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, oh, my life is so
I'm going to
hard.
ask you a personal question. Do you fly business class?
Oh God, I wish.
Damn
No.
I was ready to rip into you if you did fly business class, because people say, I've never flown. People can't believe this because they assume that because you're performing internationally, like you're famous.
And you've got bombs money.
And I've never flown business class in my life, except locally. I've flown business class on Lyft. Thank you, Lyft, for the free upgrade.
wow,
And
nice.
Once on, I think, British Airways, I had to take a flight. There was only a business class seat left, and I booked the business. But also, like Cape
Yeah.
Town to Joburg,
Yeah.
guys. There's no, it doesn't
Yeah.
turn into a bed. It's just,
okay.
So that would be
it's
so
just
glorious.
like you get a nicer drink.
And a
They
little
pour your
And a-
wine into a glass.
Yes.
They don't
And a
give it
warm
into-
roll.
and a warm
into
roll.
a cup.
Yes. Yeah.
But I've never flown business class. I've never been in those pods.
oh
a
yes.
dream.
Like that little private pod with the thing that turns into a
Amazing.
bed.
One day. One day we'll
I
make
can't wait.
it.
I can't wait. So I was going to be really upset if you fly business class.
I know the
But
best
come
I've
on,
had.
Adidas. What are you doing?
FedEx. the best I've
Fly
ever
this called
had
business class.
was after a race off one of the Canary Islands this year, actually. Beginning of the year I ran in La Palma, and the island's really small, and the race is like quite iconic in the town. And I assume the only reason I got bumped up was because I won the race, and they bumped me up to business class. But there's a catch. I don't eat meat. And The face. The only thing they fed me on the plane, there was only meat options. So I didn't even get to benefit from the nice
Oh,
food.
Did you at least have a glass of champagne?
No, it was like a 8 a.m. flight.
Oh,
So I got a warm roll
okay.
and some extra leg room.
Well, that's interesting that you don't eat meat, because I would think for an athlete you need to. Your coach would tell you to eat meat because there's a certain.
Does Erin tell you to eat meat?
No. No.
I didn't think you would.
I studied dietetics.
So you know. Okay.
I kind of know. I mean, I wouldn't say it makes me a super all knowledgeable person, but I think you can get away with. I was vegan before for a long time, and then I now live in France and have a French boyfriend, and the cheese was just a non-negotiable.
It's a big thing, yeah.
It was a deal breaker, and I'm quite happy that I now eat cheese again. But yeah, no, protein you can get in lots of things. So I do okay, I think.
Yeah. Where would you make up the meat, the protein that meat gives you? Where do you?
Now cheese. No
Cheese,
jokes.
yeah.
Like lots of tofu, beans, lentils. There's a lot of protein in a lot of different things. I do take a shake sometimes,
Yeah.
but I'm not like super pedantic about it. But I know that if I'm really hungry, then I need to bump up my protein or just eat more bread, which is also.
You're a good person, better person than me. I try to, I'm very Afrikaans. I love my meat, and I always try and just eat less meat. So at some stage, I decided I'm gonna only eat meat every second day. Still a lot of meat, but it's half the meat that I eat.
Absolutely.
And then what happened was, I ate meat 2 days in a row, and then I was like, okay, fine. I just now need to not eat meat 2 days in a row. Then eventually, before I knew it, was like, okay, now I just need to not eat meat 2 weeks in a row, because I just every day I was like, no, I'm just gonna eat meat again today, and then 3 days in a row I just won't.
Yeah.
And before I knew it, I was like,
It's
who am I
back.
kidding? I'm
Yeah.
not.
Each to their own, eh?
Yeah.
It's all good.
I know.
It's all good.
And I wish I could eat less meat, and I will. You've inspired me.
Good.
Do you drink as a professional athlete?
Yes, I do. I lived in Cape Town for 8 years. I love wine.
She's very
and now in
knowledgeable.
France.
Very knowledgeable
Now in France.
wine drinker. Now in
Which
France.
which is code for you drank a lot.
No.
No, I worked at a wine bar just down the road actually for a very long time.
Yeah.
And
Which
fell
one?
in Public.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
worked there
nice.
for 4 years, 3
Yeah.
years,
Something like
That's
that.
long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
long time. And yeah, I became a bit of a wine snub there, and now I live in France, so I've been even more of a wine snub.
What's better, French wine or South African wine?
South African wine.
Definitely, always. No?
Yeah, always.
I tried the
But
one
with,
year, but
with
I
the other
just-
races, are you still there every
I'd love to.
race next to the?
I am. I do watch them live while I'm sitting in my office. Like, oh my gosh! So I did go to one of her races in France
Okay.
a while ago though. But yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get to her races. I know we should never say that. We should always make a plan and get there.
No, but you're still working,
I do work, yeah.
because I can see you're too young to retire.
No, I'm not that young. But yeah, I work. So
What job do you do when
I
you say
work
in the
in my
office?
husband's businesses.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
She basically keeps them all afloat.
well. So yeah, but I would like to support her more in her races. It's difficult though, because I've got a daughter that's a ballet dancer that's like, come on, mom, you need to come and watch me.
Yeah. Where does she?
She lives in
Dance.
Estonia.
Estonia. That I feel like that would be the place to live for a professional ballet dancer. It's
kind of
sort
Russian.
in that
Russian
Yeah.
influence.
Russian
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And then your other daughter, I just want to give her a shout out for bringing
Yes.
some more culture into the
Yes.
sport family.
Yeah.
Is in
Art
is
direction.
in my she art director. Okay,
Yep.
my wife as well.
Okay.
What's her name?
Taryn. Taz
Taz
McCann.
Taz McCann.
Yeah.
McCann. I'll
She's-
ask my wife.
Yeah. So she's in movies mainly.
Okay.
I don't know if we're really allowed to talk about any of the movies she's on at the moment.
No, probably not.
Yeah, probably
no,
not.
Don't
Yeah.
say any.
But she's
She'll
in.
get sued.
She's
She's
in
worked
art
But she does.
direction.
She's
Quick
worked on
movies.
like Outlander and
Yeah.
Monster Hunter,
Monster
bad
Hunter,
movie, but
yeah.
cool set.
Yeah.
Warrior King with
Warrior.
Viola Davis. That was
Yeah,
also really
Warrior
cool.
King.
We
Yeah.
saw that set when it was getting set up,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's
that was so cool.
insane. So like to
Yeah.
see it in real life and then to actually see it on the big
It
screen,
was
Mm.
amazing.
wild, so cool what
Wow.
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So she's very talented.
Because Ryan Sands, his mom, is not. She's not a lady that you would think is very into sports. She's very eccentric. I don't know if you've met.
No.
I
His
actually haven't
mom, but
met her, no.
No.
She. I asked her what is the best part about Ryan. Do you enjoy the running? And she couldn't really care less about the running. She just enjoys going overseas.
Yeah.
And
yes.
She's like, I look after the baba. I get to be granny and I get to see the world.
Can have a kid, then I can.
Yeah, but you're still working. You need to
No, I
retire
know.
and
I
just
need
go
to
enjoy. Because that's the best thing about, I
Yeah.
think, being a parent is then eventually retiring and then enjoying the fruits of your labor
Well, yeah.
and of your labor.
yes.
Yeah. There's not gonna be a kid involved in that though. So she can just come and house sit.
I guess that is the
That's-
problem with a professional trail runner is getting pregnant's quite an inconvenience. It's going to slow you down. It's going to slow you down a little bit.
It's definitely inconvenience. Yeah, look, it's
But
nuts. You plan it.
imagine, hear me out.
Listening.
there's a plan.
How world famous you'll become. Because we already said that trail runners don't really get the airtime you deserve, but you'll become world famous if you win the Otter 8 months
While
pregnant.
pregnant.
Oh my gosh, I think this would be impossible.
You'll be on international. You'll be on Oprah. I don't even think Oprah still has a show, but
Headlines.
whatever.
Crazy woman tries to run Otter while 8 months pregnant.
Gosh, that would be
Like
something.
if you win the Otter pregnant, geez, that would
Oh
be
my
like
gosh.
sports history.
That
Yeah,
would be,
I think
yes.
it would be. Probably a bit stupid, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then
history.
the next year you win it, but you run with the baby,
The baby
on your
in the
back.
pack.
In the back, in
Mandatory
the camel pack.
Babs, just hand me my bottle quick. Yeah, no.
Oh no.
No, babies are not in the 5-year plan.
Oh damn it.
10-year plan.
So I
How
can't
old
use-
are you?
29.
Well, if it's not in the 10-year plan, okay, you can still have a baby at 39.
Maybe 5-year plan. Let's say 5-year plan.
Few
Ju-
more tests. Few more tests, but more expensive. What's the Frenchman?
He's saying
He's
no.
shaking his head. 10 years, yeah. Well, you can still do it in 10 years. That's not a problem. It's you I'm worried about.
Yeah, look, that's not. He's got a goddaughter, and we're very happy just babysitting.
Okay.
So can I come and babysit the goddaughter then?
You're gonna have to learn French.
Oh golly.
We?
Are we? Are
Okay,
we?
so you can speak French now fluently.
Nope.
No.
No.
And what does your boyfriend do? I'd let him speak, but he doesn't have a microphone.
No,
and he
he's
doesn't look
welcome
like
to
he
come.
wants to.
No.
What does he do?
He is in the industry. He works in product development or he's product line manager, so manages the process of products from design, concept, creation.
In shoes.
Sports brands, so
Okay.
apparel mostly at the moment, and accessories, and maybe a little bit of shoes. We've
Yeah.
got more shoes in our house than I think any person
And
should
where in
have.
France do you live?
Just outside of Chamonix, so like Haute-Savoie, northern-ish Alps.
And is that better for training, or what's the reason for living there? Just because you have a French boyfriend, or is there like a training camp thing going on there?
The trails are just really amazing.
Mm.
The plan was always to kind of base myself there, especially during the running season, which is European summer, and our winter, which is quite nice to get
Yeah.
out of Cape Town in winter. But yeah, so the plan was always to kind of go there, and then I met him, and
Mm.
Now she's not coming home. It's very sad.
you're just gonna have to come visit me.
I know.
I know, yeah. You need
It's
to
just
work
terrible.
less. Your husband,
Yes.
it's his
I
business
will-
anyway.
I will tell him I need to work less.
You guys must both just come.
Oh,
You're trying to get my dad on a plane.
Yeah,
is-
that is impossible.
that's
So I'm gonna ask you in a second, but what is your proudest and favorite race that she's won? Which one for you stands?
Her latest one, OCC.
Yeah, but that is
That
the
was
holy
just-
grail, right?
It is,
right?
absolutely. And I mean, I'm sure you've seen all the photos of her running in with her.
Mm,
It was
mm.
just, I literally was bawling.
Where were you?
I was
In
sitting
the
in my office.
Oh, Khania, always in the office.
I was sitting in my office watching the live feed on YouTube.
And I mean, you sitting in the office,
Yeah.
and I mean, you don't know if she's
No.
gonna win or
No.
not. And
Well, I'd kind of followed, so I'm always so nervous. And I think, actually, I've said to Toni, I worry that my nervous energy will kind of translate onto her. You know what I mean? I don't know.
so far,
No, if I was there. No, if
You
I
were
was
there,
there.
okay.
If I was there. But so I didn't, I normally don't start watching right at the beginning of the race. Like I just can't. I can't.
yeah. But I mean, even though she's your daughter, no one wants to sit there for 4
Oh
hours.
no, I would.
You're a great mom. If I had a child and they've started trail running, I'd be like, I'll join in the last hour, see where you are.
At
I
least it's
can't-
only 50 K's and not 100 miles where
Yes,
you're following for
exactly.
20 hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You're welcome, Mom.
Thank you, darling. Yeah, so I'm on the coaching group, and they were talking about Toni, and they were saying she's lying second. So I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I can watch this. I just do not think I can watch this.
Who's the enemy? Yeah, what country? What country are we hating?
She was Chinese.
China.
China.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if that's politically correct saying
Yeah.
you hate China, but just for the purpose of just for the purpose of the
We can
podcast.
also say American. There was some Americans.
Yes.
Because I also like a thing about the Rugby World Cup, like quarterfinals, we just hate France,
Yeah.
we hate the French, and then semi-final, we hate England, we hate the English. Every meme you can make that just is degrading towards British people, and then at the end we hate New Zealand. We absolutely hate them.
One of my teammates is from New Zealand, and she came here, and the first thing that she said was like, "My welcome to South Africa has been, I'm sorry for your loss."
Yeah.
It's like that's been the welcoming statement
yeah,
she's got. It's like, I'm sorry for your loss.
Yeah,
Sorry, not
yeah.
sorry.
But
Yeah.
it does feel slightly more PC. Be like the Chinese, we hate them. We hate the Chinese.
Yes.
So okay, so for the purpose of the story,
Yeah.
just China, boo, boo,
Yeah,
China.
yeah.
Okay,
But
so
China
she,
normally great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
normally great. And then I kind of went on and stopped working and just watched her running, because I think you had they lost you for a while. So because it's in such a mountainous region, they do kind of lose signal, but then they caught up to you, and she was in first, and I just was glued.
so for how long did you have to run first?
I think I was at like 30 Ks when I
Past
passed her.
Did you go through the aid station passing her?
No, I passed her kind of at the top of the second climb of the race. Yeah, so it was about 30 Ks in, and then I didn't.
And then
see
that
anyone
must
else.
be a lot of pressure, because now you in front, you're not chasing anyone,
Yeah,
and you're just being chased.
yeah. I think there's like two sides of that. Sometimes it's really nice to be the person who chases, because you're not running scared. You're like running with intent.
Yeah, you've got like a target
Yeah.
almost.
Where
Which
when
she
you're
lacks.
Oh, I mean, I like both of them, but yeah, I guess when you're running up front, there's always like an extra kick of adrenaline, because you know you're getting chased and you know you can't let up.
Mm.
So
Do
like
you-
you
do you
kind of
look back?
always.
Do you look back? I guess you
yeah.
have to, because you have to gauge
You
like,
do.
okay, I can slow down a bit. She's far.
Yeah, I don't think you can ever really chill. I mean, you can't chill
Mm.
if you're gonna race. You're racing hard always. You might be racing slowly, but you're trying. But on the last climb, I was definitely very worried that they were going to catch me.
Mm.
And
They
I don't
didn't.
actually remember, but I'm told that my friends saw me on the last climb, and they were like, all you could say was, "How far are they? How far are they? Where is she? Can you see her?" They didn't. So yeah, I was in a very focused
She
mode
really
in that
was.
last climb.
Yeah.
Don't remember
and
much
and
of
that
it.
and I'm assuming that's your proudest moment as well, that race.
Yeah, UTMB is definitely like one of the more prestigious events in our sport. It's kind
Please
of
just
where
give a context for the people who don't. But I actually only know about it because of interviewing Ryan Sands.
Yeah.
But please just quickly give a lowdown of what it is.
So Ultra Trail Mont Blanc, du Mont Blanc, sorry, is a race that kind of circumnavigates through Italy, Switzerland, and France around the Mont Blanc Massif.
So you go through all three countries.
So the race that I do is 55 Ks, and that starts in Switzerland and then traverses and finishes in France. Then there's 100K, which starts in Italy and does the 3. And then there's UTMB, which Ryan does, which is the 170K. And that's starting in Sham and then does like a big circle and finishes back in Sham. So I do the baby race of that series. And yeah, it's kind of the event that draws a lot of media attention and a lot of international athletes and competition. It's definitely one of the more competitive races of our series. Oh my gosh. Sorry, excuse my English.
Your French and English is bad.
Really
it's
shit. I can't
like
speak any language
Your language
very well.
is just running now. Your language is just keep quiet and run.
Brain has just melted slowly. So yeah, it's a super competitive race, and that was the one that I ran this year. And I think the reason I would say it's one of my more proud moments was because the year's been just a bit rocky in terms of training.
For you.
Yeah.
Ask her why.
No, I'm going to ask you why, because I can see you've got something you want to say.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that would definitely be my proudest moment.
Why was the year so rocky?
She fell off her bicycle and broke her collarbone and ribs.
Where, in France?
In
Innsbruck.
In Innsbruck, yes.
I was at World Champs.
She was at World Champs supporting the other South African runners. She was meant to run it, but had a bone edema, which is basically a bruise, and couldn't run in World Champs. So went along to support all the other South Africans, was on her gravel bike. Did you go around a corner?
Yeah.
Went around a corner, crashed and broke her collarbone for the 4th time.
You shouldn't be allowed to go on a bicycle if you're a
No.
professional athlete.
No,
or
well, now
do
it's
anything.
just hooked up onto the indoor trainer and it's staying there.
So she had a broken collarbone going into this massive race.
No, but
Which
no,
makes
yeah,
the win
I'd
so
say
much
that's a-
sweeter, I guess.
Well, 2 months before the race?
I broke it
you
in
broke
early
it.
May.
Okay.
So I started running kind of midway through July. And the race was at the end of August.
Okay.
Yeah. So a pretty short timeline.
Guess how embarrassed the poor Chinese woman is now. Peter
What
with
is
like
her
a dodgy
excuse?
collarbone.
Dodgy collarbone. Yeah.
She has a very dodgy collarbone.
Yeah.
Hockey and bicycles.
Yeah. I shouldn't be allowed to
No,
get
she
go
shouldn't
near
have,
either of
no.
those sports.
No, your downtime is just lock you in a pillow-filled room.
With lots of cotton wool
Many
around her.
Well, I'm going to winter now, so I'm just going to wear all the layers of puffy jackets and we're good.
And go skiing. I mean, come
yeah,
on.
I don't think you should do that. I really
Thank
would
you,
highly
Schalk.
recommend build a snowman while your boyfriend skis.
Oh,
Maybe.
gosh.
I'll just do snow angels.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. I'm okay with
Um,
that.
So
Yeah,
yes.
I wouldn't go skiing if I not while you're like at the
peak.
pinnacle
yeah,
now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to. I never like saying the peak because that implies that
That
you're
you're
going to
going
now
down.
start going
Okay.
down. But you are close to the peak, nearing it, or what is the lifespan of in your career?
Look, if you look after your body.
What about who's that lady that you ran with the other day? And you said you have no excuse, Mom. What is that lady's name?
Yasmin?
Yasmin. Yes.
Oh, one of my teammates.
Yeah.
She's 50.
Does she then compete
she's-
in the seniors division, or is she just competing?
No, she's competing with all the young
Oh.
guns. She's.
I'm just
she's
asking because, like,
insane.
when you do the marathons, they
Yeah.
always have the 50 on their back,
Yes.
and then
B
sometimes
for
you're running. You're
veteran.
like, I just have to beat that Toni with the 60 on her back. Like, I can't let her. I'm not racing anyone here, but I can't be beaten by the Toni with the 60 on her back. Seriously.
Yeah. No, look, she's lucky. She gets called up twice onto the stage, if that's your thing. If you like getting called up onto stage, she gets called in her age category and then overall.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So
she's
you
insane.
see yourself. I mean,
Yeah.
if she's still doing it at 50, I mean, there's no reason why you can't. So you
There's
see
no
yourself
excuses.
like basically your life is going to be this, or would
I,
you like to step down from running and go into coaching, or
So I do some coaching currently, and I'm actually studying in November again, to kind of further my. It is November,
You
at
should
the end
be
of the month.
studying that
I'm
right now.
starting.
Podcast, Tony.
But I don't know, honestly. I think racing takes a lot of mental energy, and some people can sustain that for many years. I don't know if I would hope I have that kind of grit.
I think you do.
I don't know.
I think you.
We'll see.
You
I've got hopefully another 10, 15 years in me.
definitely.
We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, I just love traveling, and a bit like Ryan's mom, like I love to see new
You
places.
are the athlete and the mom. You just take yourself. When you're there though, like if I go to a different country for comedy, I can really, like, I've got a show at night, but also often by that stage I've done the show so many times that I can really sort of do it with my eyes closed. You know, and I can even go like maybe wine tasting, whatever, in the day. But how much can you be a tourist then if you go there for? Because
not so much actually. A lot of the time
so you see the country
like
while you run. Oh wow, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah.
well, this is why trail running is so nice.
Oh no, hang on. I don't know who. I do not look around when I'm running trail. I look at the ground.
Okay, fair. When you're racing, you're not exactly like,
No.
oh, look at where we
Jesus,
are.
it's
It's beautiful.
Joink. Then you fall. Yeah.
But it is a really good way to explore new places.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, around a race, it's not exactly the best time to see places because you're tapering, which sucks. But like if you stay out afterwards and you're not completely broken after the race, it's quite nice to go and like see places for sure. La Palma is really cool. Like after that race, we all pretty much just went and bounced between like fishing shops, like restaurants where all the local fishermen bought all their fresh catch for the day. So we'd like go and have a fish there, and then we'd go and have calamari there. Or I would eat the fried cheese.
Yeah.
I would eat the fried. They do really
So
good.
not
fried
even
goat
after
cheese.
winning the Mont Blanc creme de la creme, would you be like, I'm gonna have a calamari to treat myself?
No.
Jeez, wow, I really do take.
Dad, have you not watched My Octopus Teacher? Come on, you can't eat calamari.
I've had whole calamari platters and not even thought about an octopus. Sorry.
Sorry.
You have these
Yeah.
expectations, like Adidas TEDx, you know, say to you like, okay, there's now interview and you're tired and you're like, okay, but I have to, you know, how do you feel about all of that? Or does it come easy for you? You look like a kind of an extrovert.
I don't think I've always been this way. I say the extrovert in me came out when I started waitressing.
That's true. Yes.
But I don't mind this part of the job. Like especially outside of race conditions, it's actually quite fun because I get to meet new people and it's like we have cool conversations like this. But during race periods where you're like expected to do media stuff, it can get really exhausting. And when all you want to do before a race is like be in your zone and chill and like focus. So like with tennis players or, you know, high profile athletes where they've got to do interviews and pre-race stuff and press conferences, like we don't have any of that. And Terex really protects us from all of that noise as well. So I think leading up to the UTMB week, we had an hour slot once in the week leading up, and the media had to come and they were allowed outside in the garden and they could interview us for that hour, and that was it, and that was all we got exposed to. And outside of that, like we had our little chalet and that was our bubble, and like we didn't get disturbed.
And then did you have to share a room with someone?
I got very lucky somehow. No,
Because that's always been for me the craziest thing about the Springboks.
They share rooms?
Yeah, like sometimes I've been to like on set, you know, like when we've done these shoots, and then they'll be laughing about something, and then it's like, oh, last night in the room, he said this, and I was like, you guys share a room, and they're like, yeah, sometimes, you know, when you go on tour, they divide us into to rooms, and you would think that when you get to the level of the Springboks, like each one will have a suite.
their own room.
Yeah.
Like each one will be in a presidential
And that
suite.
does actually surprise me.
And then it's like, no, we still have to share sometimes.
Wow.
I'd be like, I would just say, no,
Presidential speech.
I'm
Hello.
the best in the country. I'm not gonna share a fucking room with the fullback. Now give me my own room. I'll pay for it.
Pay
I'll
for the
pay for I'll
extra.
book myself into my own room.
And then put it on the invoice for expense claim.
Yeah, so I thought, geez, if the Springboks still have to share rooms sometimes, then the trail runners
We no. We do share
get put
rooms
in
aligned.
get put in a backpack. There's a share room like those bed.
Bunk beds,
Those
3 in a
stacks.
hat.
Oh
You're like drawing yourself out. No, we get looked after very well, but we do sometimes share rooms if we're going to races. Depends. I got lucky in Chamonix that I didn't have to. But like in team camp, we share rooms, and it's cool. Like it makes you get to know your team better, and you get to know their quirks and who snores and who sleepwalks, and it's fun.
Who sleepwalks?
No one actually, but there's a lot of snores.
But if there was, you get to know them.
Yeah.
Kerry, what is your big wish for Toni now that she's won the Mont Blanc? I mean, what is the next big one for you? In terms of then after that she can retire, or do you already feel she can basically retire after winning the Mont Blanc?
Well, I guess she could retire after winning the Mont Blanc, but I think as we've discussed previously, she still has 10, 15 years of running ahead of her. I think to look, I don't know what races she's kind of thinking of because she does not tell me these things.
Maybe it's to not stress you out.
I don't
or
know.
Not to stress
But
yourself
she-
out. Because
I didn't even know she was.
Or I just don't
didn't-
know.
No, but also I did not know she was coming back to South Africa on the day she arrived. I had a knock at the door, and there was Toni.
Surprise.
Surprise!
But it was a surprise. It wasn't that you just forgot.
Oh no, it
No,
was
you did-
intentional.
It was very
Yeah.
intentional. And then, so I don't always know what her plans are in terms of races. But I think just longevity for her would, that's what I would want for her in her career. Yes, absolutely.
And Toni, for you, is there another bucket list race that you like? This one is because I don't know trail
Yeah.
races. I kind
Yeah.
of know the.
Yes, there are. I mean, that probably none as high profile as UTMB, but I think there's so many races and so many beautiful places to see that like the list is endless. And luckily I get to tick off like 2 or 3 in a year, hopefully, all going to plan.
Is that how far between they are? Is that how long the recovery process is that you're doing like two?
Depends. Some people race a lot more. I'm definitely more conservative, so I only raced 2 big races this year, and then I had 2 smaller ones in between, and then UTCT at the end of the year. But yeah, I tend to approach it more like a road runner in the sense that you have like your goal races, and then you maybe do some little stuff in between as priming races, but nothing big. But
And those ones you don't then race competitively. The smaller ones you kind of chill, or do you say you're gonna,
Yeah.
and then once the gun goes off, you're like,
yeah, that's more how it goes. I tell myself that it's a training race, and then when the gun goes off, you're like, oops,
yeah.
ran
Off
quite
she
oops,
hard.
I won.
Oops, I won.
But yeah, I think there's so many beautiful races. Like I'm going to Italy next year to race, and I'm going to
I
Italy
didn't
next year
know
to
that.
race.
Okay, I'm coming. See, I don't know.
I'm not a sky runner, so there's a difference between what I do and sky running. Sky running is way more technical.
What's sky running?
That's
That's a series of races.
yeah, it's a series of races, but there's like got to be a certain amount of elevation. It's got to be like above a certain height above sea level. Like
You
there's
need
a lot of criteria
chain to get up a rock and
you
a
don't
ladder
have to have
and
those things, but they generally do include those things. They're just a lot more
That's the
technical.
problem with you trail runners is that you always go, this is not hard enough.
It's got to be
You
more.
know,
add
trail running
another
for me is like
element.
the hardest basically thing in running.
Yeah.
And now you're like, no, you know, the thing in Spain is not steep enough. Now we need to make a thing called the sky run where you need to make it needs to be 90
Basically
degree vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You need
to
you need a helmet.
you need to run with a helmet.
Yeah.
And now, you know, it's not going to end there. It's not going to end there.
No.
After sky running, they're going to be like, okay, next trail runs on the moon. You have to run out into the crater, all the way down, out the crater.
While
It's
not
a-
floating off
the-
into the
yeah, crater running. It's going to be crater running.
Crater running.
Weighted boots, yeah. Crater running. Jeez, that's next.
Sign me up.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is, you would think that trail runners eventually will go, okay, guys, we have to draw the line somewhere. But no, you could be like sun running. We're gonna go run a trail on the sun and be blackout. And you want to stick to just being the best in the 50K category, 50, 55.
Yeah. I think
Not
so.
like 100, 170.
Look, I think there's always temptation to step up distance, but I like the idea of really nailing this distance first. And also, like,
I
I'm
agree.
fairly young in the sport. I only started a couple years ago, so I want to make sure that my body's ready to step up and handle the training and the volume that you need to do to prepare yourself for those events. So yeah, I'm excited to stick to the 50K. There's so many exciting races in this distance, and it's competitive. And you're running like you. I don't like hiking that much.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to run.
Because I mean, Ryan Sands is not doing the 50K ones now.
No.
Like he's only doing the super long ones.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, find your
groove and stick to it. I think in trail running, there's this like idea that you have to go further for it to be a meaningful event or reason to race. I don't know. But like, you wouldn't say that to a 1,500 meter track athlete.
Yeah, we wouldn't say that
Like-
to a 100 meter athlete.
Yeah,
Or
like,
100
you ran
meters
100
or so.
meters.
Yeah, so, like,
Maybe
Wouldn't
you
say
should
that to
run 10K.
Usain Bolt.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
you should.
Maybe you should step up to the 10K.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same concept, and I don't know why trail runners haven't quite figured that out yet. Like, maybe people just are better at the 50K.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
maybe
Yeah,
that's their
I'd
niche.
rather win a 50K than come third in a 170K.
170
Yeah.
Ks doesn't sound appealing.
Because, well, bronze doesn't sound appealing.
No,
Gold
that's
sounds
also true.
appealing.
No one wants the chocolate medal.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
Thank you very much for chatting to me, guys.
Such a pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
So
Thank
good.
you again to House Wine. You haven't touched to House Wine,
We will.
but I know that you just so passionate about running that you didn't want to drink and talk at the same time. We've established you can only do one thing at a time.
Yeah.
Either run, either English or either French. Not a mix, a combination of all of them.
No.
Kerry, I'll see you in Durban.
Your Mom with Schalk is a Telltale Media production and hosted by me, Schalk Besaidnout. Once again, please hit the subscribe button on your podcast app. That's it for today, but I'll catch you next week for another chat with another Tannie.